Hey folks, Smudge here again. Well, my peoples have got a wonderful show for you here tonight. Wholesome Roots is going to be our guest. And let's just take a quick look at their channel. Their first video that they published was August the 9th, 2016, called Rescue Chicken Setup. Done with a cell phone, and quite frankly, not the best quality, but they've come a long way. They've really increased their quality, their content. It's a vlogging channel. And on January the 12th, 2017, not on their channel, but with the Justin Rhodes channel, was a moment that changed their lives. As you can see here, they made the announcement live that Justin Rhodes was going to be visiting Wholesome Roots in Georgia.
I can't list everybody on the Kickstarter, but here's some of you guys. We're going to Rosemary in Georgia.
All right, and now we're all patiently waiting for the Rhodes to arrive for the Great American Farm Tour Wholesome Roots edition.
So,
I'm excited.
As you can see in the next clip here, they actually were waiting on them, and the bus pulls up. They continued to increase the quality of their videos, and if you've watched them of recent, they have a very similar intro on all of their videos. That intro was first done on March the 9th, 2017, and the video was called, let me check my notes, Blind Taste Test, Nubian versus Alpine Goat Milk. They've continued to just increase their content. They show you the good, the bad, the ugly of all the homesteading challenges.
Almost all of our time. And we also got some new editing program and camera, so we were trying to learn those before we posted the new videos.
Good evening, folks. I was ready for you this time. As you all know, we have Wholesome Roots tonight. Can't wait. Rose and Ryan are sitting there anticipating what's going on with this crazed look in their eyes. I'm not sure what's that all about, but you know. And I'm sure we're going to have their voice on throughout the hour, so it's going to be fun. Get your thinking caps on, because she picked out two really good trivia questions. Not to say our two trivia questions for the seeds. So let's go ahead and get this started and get Rose and Ryan on here.
They're here.
You're live.
Hello.
Now she gets to be on the other side.
There we are.
If anybody has questions, make sure you put them in all caps so we can see them and our mods can see them also.
So tell us a little bit about your place. How many acres do you have? Is it snowing down there like it is here?
We've had some pretty good weather here the last couple of days, other than the rain. We've had quite a bit of rain.
Good mix of warm days and then cooler days.
Got down in the 30s a couple of nights, which was kind of weird because we were thinking those days had passed because we had some 80-degree days. We've got 14 plus acres. A lot of that is on the other side of the pond and not accessible, so we don't get to use it. The pond has a man-made bridge, and then it has a spillway at the end, and just over the creek spillway there's a steep incline that we can't get a vehicle up in order to utilize the back pasture.
Wow.
Yeah. We rent our homestead. So if we were to own it, we would probably make some modifications to that area to be able to use it for some meat goats or meat sheep.
How long have you been there?
3 years?
3 years.
3 years?
3.
Well, yeah, we're working on our 4th year.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So let's talk about YouTube for just a moment. I get the idea, and I don't know this because I've not asked this before, but Rose, it appears that it was all your idea to do YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, that chicken rescue video that you saw, I literally grabbed my cell phone and walked up to him without telling him I was doing any of this. I just started filming and talking and narrating, and that was our first video. And I had never done that to him before. I had never done like a test run or anything. It was just something I had kind of been talking about since I found Justin Rhodes' channel, and I was like, shoot, we need to do this. We can teach people all those things too.
It's not the first time that we've taught people, because she's been teaching people different things throughout the years, but since we've been together, she's taught organic gardening class for Homestead Atlanta, and I taught a winemaking class. So we're not new to teaching people. We were new to YouTube, but
yeah,
I'm comfortable in front of a camera. I've had experience in front of a camera before too. So
great.
He was a background actor for a very popular show.
Really? Come on, speak up.
There's a show on AMC called Halt and Catch Fire.
Okay.
It took place in the 80s. That was the premise of the show, and I was a background actor in 8 out of 10 episodes in the first season, and then 1 episode in the second season.
Cool.
Oh, that's interesting. So, Rose, you've been homesteading, to use that as a broad term, your entire life. It sounds
that's
like.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I grew up on homestead. My mom still has tons of gardens and chickens and everything, and we grew up with goats, and we had a big family, 5 kids, and my mom did everything from scratch, everything all natural. I mean, you name it, we've probably done it at one point on our homestead growing up.
But that was in Massachusetts, if I heard right?
That's right. Yep, in Massachusetts. And so it's a lot different down here. I've had to learn a few new things that I didn't know about. Pest and disease are a lot different down here. We have a lot more of them. So I've had to learn how to do things organically from a whole different perspective.
So how long have you been down in, how long have you lived outside of Massachusetts?
I actually moved away when I was 17, and I lived in Arizona, and then I lived in Kansas, and then I lived in Georgia for a little while, and then North Carolina, and then back to Georgia. So I've been back in Georgia since Dalton was 15 years. Wow. So I've been in this area of Georgia for 15 years.
Yeah, because you definitely don't have the strong Massachusetts/Boston accent.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, I've actually lived more of my life away from Massachusetts.
And that's why I asked. Yeah, that's why I asked.
When I go home, it comes back. It's like the accent automatically starts kicking back in.
Trust me, I know. When we go back to Rochester to New York and I visit family, it's like never left.
Yeah.
So, how did you hook up with this guy you're sitting beside?
We have a beautiful love story, actually. I was working at Callaway Gardens in Georgia. I was the horticulture supervisor at the Day Butterfly Center there. And I was out in the parking lot, working in the parking lot. And I was just doing my weeding or whatever it was, and he pulls past me but didn't toll all the way past, and he stopped and he started asking me questions about working there and about how to get a job, and how he had just picked up an application and he was wondering if I knew of any open positions anywhere and this and that and the other thing. And I was like starstruck from the minute I saw him. Like, I was like, hi.
Had to figure out how to unroll your tongue.
Yeah, it was really, really funny. And then I went downstairs and we chatted for a while until I think a car pulled up behind you and you had to leave.
Yeah.
And I went downstairs to our break room because it was break time by that time. And I walked in there and I said, I just met my future husband. His name is Ryan. And I didn't know if I would ever see him again. We didn't exchange phone numbers or anything. And so for the rest of the week, I kept on going, I wonder if Ryan will come through the garden today. And then exactly a week later, he showed up in the parking lot again when I was out there doing the same task in the parking lot. And we ended up talking for like an hour, standing there in the parking lot. And he finally asked me for my number and he began texting me. And it was a Thursday. He began texting me right away. I don't even know if he'd left the gardens yet. Because I got like a text message like right away. And
maybe he was just checking, make sure that you gave him the right number.
Well, you know that 3-day rule that people generally say. I didn't do that. I couldn't wait.
Apparently, there wasn't a 3-day rule 20 years ago.
And we were inseparable
That's
ever
cute.
since.
So Ryan, what is your background? Were you a homesteader growing up?
No, it actually took me quite a while to figure out what I wanted to do, because the first part of my life, I imagined that I would follow in some of my family members' footsteps and be a career officer in the Army. And I'd set my goals for that, and I actually enlisted in the Army and broke my ankle, chipped a different ankle. 9/11 happened 1 month after basic training for me, and then miraculously, somehow 2 opportunities to go to Iraq, somehow I didn't get put on those deployments. And basically after that, I didn't know what I wanted in life, and it took me a while after that. I worked in restaurants. I've actually developed quite a great skill for cooking, but I've worked in warehouses.
He was a chef for a while.
I've worked in warehouses. I could write a book on Ryan's had every job in the world. I really have had so many different types of jobs. But after meeting her, and she left Callaway Gardens and went back to a place where she had worked formerly, where she was a gardener, and then I was a plumber's apprentice at the time. Well, she said, hey, they're looking for weekend help in the kitchen. They need a chef. And so I went on over there, and I did that for a while. But every opportunity that I could, I was out there trying to help her. And until finally, you go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, it was a farm-to-table restaurant that was attached to an inn, and it had a big garden that I grew all the vegetables for the restaurant.
Well,
so he would come out and harvest for that night's dinner, and I would help, get him some veggies for the dinner that night. So he ended up spending more time in the garden than most of the chefs normally did, because of course I was out there. So
and then eventually they
I was going to say probably had something to do with it.
They said, all right, you can be a gardener now. And so I started doing that. We had our kids, and throughout that time, that's when we acquired chickens. We had a garden the whole time. I'd help her at home planting gardens and growing vegetables and learning everything I could from her about gardening. And then that's when we ended up getting chickens, and go from there.
Chicken's the gateway drug.
Rose Half Acre Dreams is asking, how long have you been married?
we just celebrated our 8th anniversary of being together.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
And we still like newlyweds.
Yeah, you both kind of have that look in your eyes. So.
Well, somebody mentioned how when Rose first started talking about how she met him, how red Ryan's face went.
I've always got that complexion, I think. I don't really get embarrassed.
No, you don't really. You were just red with the happiness, and glowing happiness hearing that story again.
Well, I know in looking through a number of your videos, I've seen a couple where you're working pretty hard at that farm there, Ryan. Mucking the stalls, I think, is the one that really caught my attention.
Everybody loves that video. Well, if you think of it this way, the idea for vlogging, that was her idea, and I'm certainly a part of that too. But there's so much that goes into maintaining all of this here that there's plenty of times where I've come home from work and I have to do every single day I have to put in more and more time and effort here, and I don't always grab a camera. Sometimes it's easier for me to just go out and do it, but
oh yeah, absolutely.
When I'm in the food, I'll grab a camera for sure.
So obviously, a real big thing that happened with your channel was Justin Rhodes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
How did that all come about?
Well, I started vlogging because of Justin Rhodes. That was the first YouTube channel I ever subscribed to, I think. Like, I've never watched YouTube before that. YouTube was just on a Google search when I was trying to figure out how to fix my dryer or do something, that I needed a how-to video for. I literally had no idea about YouTube and the world that was here. Not a clue. I had been on Facebook for years with my Facebook page, which was previously called Passionate Plants, and then when I started vlogging, I changed it to Wholesome Roots Passionate Plants. And I got closer and closer to them, and we chatted a lot, and I became friends with Rebecca on Facebook, and then I had put in the application for when they were looking for people who were willing to be a stop on the farm tour, and that came out of the blue when they did that live announcement. I was not expecting that. I thought it was so late in the game that there's no way they were still going to choose me because it was so late. Like, they were about to get in the van and leave,
Oh, yeah. It was what? Only a month later they were at your place.
Exactly. So I was kind of surprised. I figured they would have had it all mapped out before then.
But what I noticed is Justin made that announcement. About a month later, they're at your place because you guys are sitting out there waiting on them. And the bus comes down the road blowing its horn, and then it just seemed like your videos, the quality got better, the composure, everything just seemed to just grow immensely. So did Justin give you some pointers, tips, tell you some different things to do, or was that just a natural growth?
Well, one of the biggest things that happened that improved a lot of our quality was when I found out Justin Rhodes was coming. I was like, quick, we need to get our tax returns in now so that we can get a new camera, because our cell phone was not cutting it. The quality wasn't as good. And so I figured I would hurry up and get a new camera before he got here. Well, the camera didn't arrive before he got here. I was still using my cell phone at the time. But shortly after, we got the new camera, and that really increased the quality. And my son had gotten me a good editing program for Christmas, but I wasn't able to use it with my cell phone. And when I got the new camera, it wasn't working with the camera either. And I was like, oh no, what's wrong? And come to find out, did a little technical investigation. It was my computer that wasn't allowing me to use it for anything. It's just not a good enough computer. So then I had to buy a new computer.
So
we ended up investing a good bit of our tax returns in a new computer and a new camera, and then my son's editing program that he gave us, and that made a big difference.
Not only that, it's just doing it over and over and over again. Of course, with all that practice, you're going to get better.
Oh yeah.
And so she's come a long way. She's the master at editing.
I don't know about that.
I don't edit a thing.
He doesn't edit anything.
I'm good at the cinematography part. I have actually, during that time after the military, I took some college classes about making movies. So I think I'm pretty good with filming things. A lot of the stuff I can film really well.
He gets all my good B-roll.
Directing, I'm good with directing and planning and scripting, if you want to call it that.
Well,
but,
who's this young fella you have between you here? Who's this young fella you have between you here?
Who's that?
Who are you?
Rowan.
That's Rowan.
Hi, Rowan.
I'm starting to have a loose tooth.
You have a loose tooth?
Starting to.
So how old are you?
Just 5.
You're 5?
It's a good age.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're going to be out doing a bunch of the gardening this year, huh?
He does a lot.
Going to
He
be
does
out.
a lot. Him and his brother both.
Yeah,
It's
you
surprising
always see
how
the
much
boys. Yeah, you always see the boys out there, whether it's with you or Ryan or both of you. They're always out there doing something.
If I hand them a tray of transplants and say, plant them in this row, they'll plant them.
Great.
And they'll actually plant them, cover the root. They do a very good job.
Wow.
They water in.
Well, let's talk about your garden for just a second. How large of a garden do you have?
I don't know the dimensions. I know how long those beds are. 75 foot.
I don't
Just
know.
approximate.
About 75 foot long beds. We've got 3 of those beds in asparagus. We've got 1 in green cabbage, 1 in kale, the other in red cabbage, 1 in garlic, and then there's a bunch that we'll be planting our summer stuff into.
So is this all tended by hand, or do you use machinery to do that?
We've been using machinery. We're trying to go away from that. Now, actually, this year on those beds that are planted right now, I didn't actually use a tiller on for our fall planting because the beds had enough mulch on them that I didn't have to. We started this garden. This isn't our first garden since we moved here. We started over on the other side of the house, and it was too shady, and it just didn't do well at all. The soil was not good. Then we moved over to this spot about a year ago, I guess, and the weeds were horrible. Was it 2 years? And the weeds were horrible because it was where they dumped all of the horse manure for years. And horse manure carries a lot of weed seeds. And it was invasive seeds, like invasive weeds, that had to be rototilled. Now that Ryan's got the tractor with the disc harrow, I'm trying to get him to break up the ground in that next section that we're going to be planting our summer stuff in.
Well, I see that old Alabama gardener has joined us.
Yes, he is.
So
Yes, he is.
he may have some questions for you. He usually comes up with a couple good ones for our
Sure
guests when he
does.
joins us.
Sure does. Rose, tell us about the trip you made a month or so ago for an award. Look at her smiling for the award you got. Tell us about that.
Well, I completed my Journeyman farmer certification. I completed my Journeyman farmer certification. It was a certification that the Georgia Organics and the University of Georgia, and I think there was one other sponsor. I think it might have been one of the Florida universities was also participating in. and they put together a system of classes that were designed to help young farmers or beginning farmers get the skills that they needed in order to become successful with their farm careers. So the first step was going through a class on farm business management, and it was a lot of financial stuff and books and paperwork and, you know, all the boring stuff that I still don't know how to do, even though I went through the class. But I have the notes and I have the workbook to look back on. And then I had to do a 8-week course in small ruminant production at the extension service. It was put on by that was where the Florida University veterinarian came up and did a program for us. And then I had to do an internship or mentorship for the whole summer. So it was a lot of work. It took me about 1.5 years, 2 years to complete all of it. So it was something I had worked hard for a while, and it was really, really good feeling to get it all done. And I was one of only 37 students that graduated from the program, and it may be that nobody else ever gets a chance to graduate from it because it was based on a grant. Wow. And they don't know if they'll be able to redo that grant again.
Well, do we have any other questions right at this moment?
Not at this moment. Why don't we go ahead? It's a good time for a trivia question.
That's what I was going to say. Yep. We'll just bring the trivia slide over, and we'll see what we got.
You want to say something? Say something.
Okay. Let me very quickly go over the rules. If you're not familiar with our trivia questions, very simple rules. You can only win once every 4 weeks. You must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it is received and recorded on the stream here. If you notice on the screen right now, the chat is embedded into the screen. So this is what we are seeing here. Your particular browser chat window combination may not display in the same order. So this is the official order, what shows on the screen. And if you are the winner, you have to send us an email with your address so we can send you a $2 bill. And you send that to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. All right. Now this is from Rose. Question number 1. What is the name of our herd queen?
Someone's got to get it.
Gosh, it got real quiet.
It sure did.
It did get real quiet. Oh, did I stump them?
No.
Come on, I know I've got some loyal fans out there.
I wish it was.
Christy, you have to be specific. Dirt farmers of WPA. Fancy girl.
Okay, dirt farmers of WPA.
And Christy, don't feel bad because we have another goat named Fancy as well, Fancy 2. That's why I had to be specific.
Okay.
Good job, Christy Beth, though.
All right.
There we go.
Congratulations, dirt farmers of WPA. I've always wondered, what does the WPA stand for?
I don't have any idea.
Oh, I think she's asking them.
Okay. So, and we'll have another one here after a bit. So, if you didn't win that one, you got another chance coming up.
Sure do.
So we got him back on the hot seat here.
Mama Mitzi, Rose, will you be at the Great American Farm Tour premiere?
Unfortunately, I will not. That is Liam and I's birthday weekend. So it's Liam's birthday and my birthday's the next day. So we have birthday plans.
Ah. Well, that happens. And Dirt Farmer says that it's Western Pennsylvania. Apparently the WPA is Western PA for Pennsylvania.
Okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
So, all right. What else is going on at your place this year? Anything new? Or is it just the same old stuff?
Well, it's not 100% new, but it's new to the YouTube. No, I think we had them. We lost our bees when... we're getting bees at the end of the month. We had bees before, but we lost them.
Okay, well, I see Bee Lady is in here tonight.
Yep.
Yes.
Every season is slightly different from the year prior. You know, we have more goats than we had last summer. So we did rotational grazing, but our paddocks were smaller. So now our paddocks are a little bit bigger. Last spring, we didn't have a tractor to maintain pastures, so everything's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We're growing.
Rhonda Holt is asking, I just watched today's video. That 17 minutes felt like an hour. Where do you get all your energy to sit through these births?
I have been so exhausted after these 2 births. It really takes it out of you. I said, Ryan, why am I sore? I'm sore all over. I didn't give birth. But it's like the adrenaline that you have during that time. It's just incredible. Like, you know, it really is. It is a huge adrenaline rush, but I love it, and I think that's one of my favoriteest parts of having goats is going through the birth and the labor and the delivery. It's always a miracle, you know.
Well, I called you midwife the other day. If you saw that on the Facebook group.
Yeah, I am the midwife.
Yes,
that's right.
Are.
You want to sit in my lap?
Tammy 1960 is asking, do you still have the first goat you had?
Yes. Fancy Girl and Bo were the first goats we had. It was when Bo was just a little baby, and her and little Bo came to live with us, and she's my baby, and he's my baby. I will always have them.
Cool. And we have another question. What do you know about mini Nubians?
My mentor actually has mini Nubians. They're really, really nice. I'm really always surprised at how much milk she's able to get from a smaller goat. He can sit in your lap if you're quiet. You want to sit in Daddy's lap?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
so they're really good, really easy keepers. They're a lot like Nubians. They look a lot like Nubians for sure, but they've got the higher butter fat and just slightly smaller size.
What is the current head count on your goats?
25 after the last baby.
25. Good heavens! Do they all have names?
Every one of them.
Okay, I gotta keep going. How many chickens do you have?
Can't do that, buddy. What was that?
How many chickens do you have?
We had. Do you have a proper head count? We had a raccoon attack that took down 10.
We had a raccoon attack recently that took out, what was it, 9 total hens and a rooster. So 10 were lost. Before that, we had 44 hens. So 44 minus 9, what was that number? I'm terrible with math.
35.
35. Hens,
so 35 hens.
35 hens left, and then the roosters.
We have a rooster per tractor.
Yeah, I think there's 10 or 12 because of Brad being outside.
And then there's 2 of the cream leg bar roosters. What are you saying?
Something.
Can you let your brother say something first? What is it, Liam? Say hi.
Hi, I'm your head. What's notice?
Hi, Lynn.
Nope. I was fighting corn and it made my tooth wobbly. And
when you bit the corn,
yeah,
it made your tooth wobble.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be coming out before long.
Yeah.
Old Alabama Gardener asks, "What is your favorite vegetable to grow?" Food.
There we go.
Tomato. Definitely tomatoes. All-time favorite. I'm obsessed with tomatoes. I've always had a tomato plant. Even when I lived in an apartment, I had a tomato plant on my little balcony porch.
Is there a particular variety of tomato that you favor?
That's hard. I have a lot of heirloom favorites.
There's too many heirlooms.
We have over 100 heirloom seeds that we've been growing through the years. So it's a.
And you think I'm
hard to
crazy
pick a
with my
favorite
tomatoes?
What's that?
I looked at him. I said, "You think I'm crazy with my tomatoes?"
Oh yeah, we generally plant about 400 tomato plants.
Oh my! And,
You go sit now, okay?
but you're supplying restaurants over a 50-mile radius, right?
What's that?
I say you're supplying restaurants over a 50-mile radius of your house with all those tomato plants?
No, we actually eat them all. We give a few away to friends and family, but we generally eat just about all of them.
So you obviously do a lot of canning.
Yeah, we do a lot of tomato sauce, but most of what we get, we eat fresh. Or
Wow.
tomato pie, tomato sandwiches. Tomato pie is amazing. We eat tomato pie like once a week in the summer.
I have a question here. How much milk do you get from one doe?
Depends on the dough.
Yeah, that varies.
We have our two big producers right now are giving over half a gallon out of milking.
My goodness.
Then our low producers are, about a quarter less.
So overall, you're getting a considerable amount of goat milk, though.
Yeah, we're getting at least a gallon a day right now. All right.
And Old Alabama Gardener's asking if you can tomatoes.
Yeah. We have a big All-American pressure canner, so we usually bust that out for tomatoes because we usually do so many at a time.
Do you have the real big one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got one
It was
last
my
year.
Valentine's Day present one year.
Yeah, I got her that for Valentine's Day, and she got me a 12 gauge.
There we go. That sounds good to me.
True love.
Brown Coat Homestead is asking, how is the asparagus doing?
Really good. We just had some for dinner tonight. I think it's starting to get to the point where I'm letting a lot more of them grow up. So we may get another harvest or two for dinner, but I want to start letting it grow because they are still young. So
Mama Mitzi's asking if you have a video on making tomato pie.
I don't think so.
I don't think I do.
We're going to have to remedy
There
that
you
one.
go. Yes, there you go. Because
We
I've
do
never.
homemade mayonnaise here. So.
Oh, I can. My mom used to make homemade mayonnaise, so for me that's a. But I've never heard or had tomato pie, so I'd be interested in watching that.
It's pretty amazing.
Well, I know we've watched your video on making butter.
That's how we started doing
Yeah.
it. It's because of you, Rose, that we make our own butter in our Ninja.
Up there.
Deep South Texas is asking, do you pressure can tomatoes or water bath?
We pressure can them because we can. Because we have the pressure canner and we're usually doing big batches and that's our big one to do. Tomato pie is not a dessert. Robert at Tabor Aviaries, I did not see you come in.
Yeah, he just got here, bros.
You could call it an alternative to pizza. And
No,
yeah,
you would not. That would not be tomato pie.
you could eat it.
Actually, it would be dessert for me. I'd eat it as a dessert.
It's got a crust. It's got cheese. It's got an
Well,
alternative.
it almost sounds like Chicago deep dish.
Yeah, it's a crust with layers of tomatoes and cheese and mayonnaise, basically.
Yeah, instead of tomato sauce, it's got mayonnaise.
Ooh,
It's
that sounds
for your
interesting.
artery.
Delicious.
The best sandwich to have in the summertime is bread, mayonnaise, and tomato. That's it. Or stand out in the garden and eat the tomatoes. Bandana has Rose. I will always remember you getting out of the coffee line at the conference just to run over and give me a hug. And then they ran out of coffee.
And I needed coffee so bad.
That's okay, Bandana. At least you didn't get attacked by the back and have a neck hug. I didn't even know she was back there.
Oh,
This year I'll know. She just
I love you, Rose. I'm
She
so
just wanted
glad.
those. Yeah, she just wanted those mini cheesecakes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was all it was.
That was
That's
it. Oh, see, now Robert's asking you if tomato pie a quiche.
No, there's no eggs in it. It's cheese and mayonnaise and tomatoes.
Sounds
Salt
good.
and pepper.
Uh,
It's amazing, though. I mean, that doesn't sound very amazing, but it is amazing.
And
It is.
Tammy 1960 is asking, how is the turkey doing in the duck pen? And are the goats still afraid of the turkey?
They're terrified.
They're getting better. Actually, tonight they were. The turkey was walking in between all the bucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean, Eugene and Fluffernutter. When they saw them there, they backed up, but they're not terrified to where they stay halfway, across the paddock.
This morning, I couldn't get them to go out. Eugene was horrible. I mean, Eugene is our biggest goat. He's a wether that is as big as a donkey. And I was pushing him. His rear end is like this, and I'm pushing, trying to get him to go up the path to get out to the buck pen. Because he was so scared because there was a turkey looking at him through a fence.
Well, Rose, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy are here. And they just did a comment. I love you, Rose. They are starstruck.
Me too, Doug and Stacy. Me too. You know what's really cool is when I met Doug and Stacy, I was tiny at the I have a couple of hundred subscribers back then, or no, I had to have more than that. Anyway, I felt tiny compared to them, subscriber wise and YouTube wise. And I walked up to them and said, "Hi," and I heard, "Hi, Rose," and I was like, "You know my name?" I didn't know my name. And Stacy said, "We don't just make YouTube videos, we watch them too." And I was like, wow. I was just blown away by the fact that they actually watched my channel, and it blew my mind. It really touched me.
Old Fashioned Life is asking, what did you name the last 3 baby girls?
Okay, so the last one that was born to Shady, the big, beautiful one that was so difficult to come out because she was so huge, we named her after my sister because she was born on my sister's birthday, and my sister's name is Jenny, or Jennifer, but we call her Jenny. So we named her Jenny Bloom. And we have not announced the names of the other 2 yet because I was trying to get name suggestions from the audience, and this guy went and stole the show, came up with 2 really good names. So
I can't help.
Yeah.
Well,
So you'll have to watch a video soon to hear the new names.
Doug and Stacy says, now you have enough subs to enter the camera giveaway.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, we're getting closer to 5,000. Now I'm really surprised because it seemed like when I hit 3,000, I stalled, and I did not go at all.
Let's
It just
go ahead and
slowed down.
plug Doug and Stacy a little bit, help them out there.
Oh, yeah.
If you folks don't know, you need to go over to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy.
Could one of our mods please grab their channel link, please?
And they are doing a fantastic giveaway. Now, there's some caveats to it, but they're going to be giving away a Canon G7 camera. That's about, Doug, correct me if I'm wrong, that's about a $700 camera.
Well, isn't that the same camera that he used when they were doing the Jacks game at Deep South? I'm pretty sure that's the same little camera he had on the table there.
It very well could have been.
Yeah, big news video. Thank you, Doug. Yeah. Yeah. We are definitely
But this is the camera that I use. It's the one that Justin Rose started on. It's the one that Art and Bree use. It's very good for vlogging because you can flip the screen up and look at yourself and film with being able to know that you got the shot right.
Right.
I really enjoy this camera. Well, and I would love a second one so that I can set up multiple angles. So I'll definitely be entering.
So,
well, we all had to start with something, you know?
So, yeah, folks, you got to go over and watch that. And one of the caveats there is your channel does have to have 2,000 or more subscribers.
Thank you, Bandana.
So.
And Tracy said Tracy was late because they were watching your new video. Well, at least you have a good reason.
Yeah.
So let's do the other trivia question here.
The seeds or the $2?
You tell me.
Seeds.
Seeds?
We'll split them up.
We'll split them up. All right. Well, it's the same. It's
no,
the same
no, Shay, you're fine. We're still going.
I did it wrong.
I guess we're doing $2 video trivia. I don't care.
Okay. Simple rules, lots of fun. You can only win once every 4 weeks. You must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it is received and recorded on the stream here. That stream is embedded in the window right now so you can see it. That is the official order of comments coming in. Your computer or cell phone may not have the same order. This is the official order. If you are the winner, you must send us an email with your address. We ask you do that within 48 hours to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com so we can send you an actual USA $2 bill. And they have gone well outside of the United States.
They've gone to Canada and they have gone
to England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Almost cost as much as the $2 bill.
Okay. Question number 2. What breed of heritage ducks are we hoping to hatch more of?
Ooh, I know this one.
Shush!
I want a $2 bill, y'all.
This is for Steve.
No, this is for the $2 because Daryl brought the wrong one up, Rose.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. Thanks, Daryl.
Yeah, I get confused too.
Robert got it. Robert got the $2.
Yep. Daybird Aviaries. Please drop us an email with your address.
Congratulations, Robert. I swear we didn't cheat.
All
Robert's
right.
my good friend. He was actually here for Kitty's birth and did a live birth video for her.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, is that who did it? I guess I saw pieces, but I didn't realize. Yes, Robert, you did win a $2 bill. He's going, really? So email us here, Robert, or email me on Facebook. It's fine. Just so we get your address, and I'll get that in the mail tomorrow. Let's see. We got any more? Have any? Oh, we did that, Shay. Daryl's oldest granddaughter graduated high school last year and couldn't figure out what to get her, and she was going off to college. So we went to the bank, and he got 100 $2 bills. And he used some sort of, I don't know what kind of glue it was, but he glued them together and then made a thing that looked like a checkbook. And that's what we gave her for a graduation gift. That way she had spending money when she went to college.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was, not hope they don't all expect that, but it was a good thing. So any more questions? I'll put them in all caps. We can hit Rose and Ryan up. The boys got quiet. Did they go back and watch TV?
Tablets.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Kaylee, our 8-year-old granddaughter, she has a tablet.
They're watching YouTube.
Yeah. Rowan actually likes to watch our channel and Justin Rhodes' channel on his YouTube.
Well, we all know who Kaylee, our 8-year-old granddaughter, likes to watch because she has become best buds with her and they've never met. But Kaylee and Bandana Grandma have this thing. They,
that's sweet.
Yeah, she pretty much adopted Bandana, and she has sent bandanas, and she has painted 2 and sent them to her. So, a banded pirate's chest filled with gold Susan B. Anthony coins. Oh wow, that's a cool idea. May have to.
Old-fashioned life. Just hit the X. Sorry, there's an Amber Alert going off.
Oh.
What was the question I saw? How much should I feed a pregnant doe? Old-fashioned life. The last 2 months of the pregnancy, you should feed a pound for pound, how many pounds of milk you expect out of that doe. So if you know how much milk she normally gives, you want to do a pound of feed for each pound of milk.
And are you keeping all the kids you have this year, Rose?
Normally, I would say yes for all the does, but now that we have all does, there's no way to keep them. It's incredible. We have 1, 2, 3, 5 does already. We can't keep 5 does, so we're gonna have to make some tough decisions here. It's gonna be hard deciding. I know I'm keeping Truly Scrumptious and Dottie because they came out of our highest yielding does, our does that give the most milk. So they're really important for improving our herd, for the amount of milk our herd can produce. So we definitely want to keep those 2. And then, I don't know. It's going to be hard deciding the rest of the way.
Mama Mitzi's asking, on new property, they have some wet areas. Is that something we should be careful of if we get goats?
Absolutely. You don't want them to be in wet areas. There's a lot of fungus and disease that will harbor, and they can get hoof rot, and it's just a bad situation. In fact, often, if it's rained really, really bad and the pasture is saturated, I often will keep the goats in if it's really that wet, because I do not need hoof rot or any other fungus or parasites getting in my goats.
Jerry Arnold is asking, if I have 3 acres, how many goats can it support?
Well, our pasture's 3 acres, and we rotate a herd of 25 on that. If you can rotate with a Premier One electric net fence, you get a lot more bang for your buck, because you can let them grow up tall in one area while they're eating the other area down.
And Robert's asking, can I buy a doeling that isn't related to cinnamon?
Well, look at the calculation going.
Trying to think. Possibly. We're going to have to wait and see what Fancy and Willow produce. Well, wait, is Hearts related to Willow? Let me look at Hearts' paperwork and see who she's related to. Not sure. Their grandfather might be the same. You might be okay.
Rose, I have a question, Rose. If I'm not mistaken, I have seen a video where you've had at least one pig.
We did have one. We don't have her anymore. She was a Hereford hog, and she lived in the round pen before we put the bucks out there. And yeah, she was a foster situation, sort of. It was really kind of a strange situation. And we were kind of fostering her, but we were supposed to get piglets out of it, and then we were supposed to get meat out of it, and we never got either. So,
well, I just wondered if you
that was our first four-legged animal here.
Yeah, true.
That's when we said we're officially farming. We had chickens, but yeah, that was our first mammal.
You just pinched my feet.
So do you have any plans to obtain pigs or cattle in the future? Cattle, a good word. Cows.
It depends on where we live.
A cow would be great, but I work on a farm with sheep and cows, and the amount of dry matter intake that they have to have, meaning hay
for milk production, and just to maintain their body score, and also the amount of pasture they got to graze. We just don't have. I mean, it would be hard. It would. No, when we have all these goats already, that would be hard to have cows. I would love it though. Ideally, we would like a cow someday, for sure.
I don't ever want pigs again.
I want pigs. I would like to get some coonies or American guinea hogs or Osaba Island hogs.
Are they smaller ones or are they big ones?
Smaller.
Smaller ones, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
we're going to go ahead and do one more question, then we'll do a seed trivia. Tammy 1960 is asking, do you have more pregnant goats?
Yes. Fancy Girl is as big as a house. She was put in with Fluffernutter at the same time that Shady and Rocky were bred. But we never saw him. He's a young buck, so he wasn't as excited about girls yet, And so we never saw him actually breed with her, but she's definitely bred. And so we just don't know what the due date is on her. And Willow was in with him too, but she doesn't look as big. So she's probably a later due date if she's bred. It could be all the way till May, I think, is when we finally separated them and said we don't want any later than that. We don't want it to be too hot when they kid.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the question? How many more do? And then Ryan stuck Chaos in with the bucks one day when she was in heat. And I was like, oh, okay, so Chaos is probably bred May.
Go ahead and get this other question here.
Okay. This is from Tracy. Wants to know if you still want peacocks.
More than ever. My friend that we go to her house every Saturday, she has a white peacock that she got. He is just I would love a white one, but they're very rare. So it would be nice to have a peacock. I want 3 peacocks for fur, and I want 3 emus. And
there used to be a place not far from us that they had peacocks. Remember that place?
Willow Creek Homestead. I didn't see you come in. She just said Ryan just wanted more goats.
Yeah, you're right, Novazar. 3 against 1 doesn't seem fair.
All right, well, let's get this other trivia question here out of the way.
And these are for 5 packs of Baker Creek seeds.
Okay, same rules apply as to the $2 trivia questions. You can only win once every 4 weeks. You must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it is received and recorded on the stream here. That is embedded in the window for everybody to see. And you must send us an email with your address, please. We ask you do that within 48 hours to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com if you are the winner, so we know where to send you the seeds. Well, we got something a little bit different tonight. This first question is actually a multiple choice, so the answer is in front of you. And whoever picks the letter of the answer first, as it comes across, will be the winner.
And this is as it comes across
on our screen here.
The monitor that Daryl's looking at.
Okay. So we'll just
get your fingers off your keyboard. Oh, you're just trouble.
I think we need to draw a line.
That's why you love me.
Yes, I do. You should be happy that I do.
Okay,
who else would I make
We're drawing a line.
Yeah, who else would I make cheesecake for and travel with it for 7 hours?
All right, here we go. Which of these doesn't contain cyanide? A is kiwi, B is a plum, C is peach, and D is apple. Ellen Bloomfield. A is correct. And she is the first one coming across here.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, it's just for bonus, whatever. There's nothing else involved here. Can you tell us what parts of the other fruits contain cyanide? That's just for general knowledge.
Well, can't cyanide kill you?
Yes, cyanide can kill you.
So if I get a lot of this stuff and send them to somebody, can I expect any results from it?
Depends on
folks. You didn't hear this from me. You didn't hear this from me.
She answered correctly. It's the seeds.
You would have to eat an incredible amount of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could probably arrange that. I could, I have a ninja. I can blend them up.
If you put it in the cheesecake, we might have an issue.
Oh no, that won't be going to Virginia. You're safe.
The system doesn't leave the body, so you can do it slowly.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh no. It's something I'd want done fast.
All right. So we're going to open up the phone line here, Tim.
Oh, here we go. Now we can have fun.
So, and the way this works, folks.
And no, Brenda, no possum pizzas are delivered tonight.
If you'd like to call in, I can take one call at a time, and you can actually speak directly to Rose and Ryan. Just say hi, wish them well, or whatever. Ask them questions. So the phone line is open if anybody wants to call. It's on the screen.
Peach don't take many pits, but it takes a lot of apple pips to poison someone. Well, Ellen, if it depends on their size, it's going to take a whole orchard. Didn't hear it from me.
All right.
I know, Brenda. It was either possum pizza or Jedediah, and I don't see my sister in here, so it can't be Jedediah. Oh, here we go, Ellen. Ellen and I think alike. Come on, folks.
Well,
Old Alabama Gardener, you here? You can call in and talk to Rose.
Yeah.
Wildflower Valley Farm. You'll find out if you follow us in any live streams or we're also on Facebook. I'm a tad touched up there. I don't have it all there. Ask anybody here.
Okay, so are you guys going to make it to any of the conferences this year? Do you know?
Yeah, she's going to HOA. She already has her tickets.
Yep.
And the only reason I know that is because she put it on Facebook.
I'm excited, very excited. I can't wait.
So,
I can't wait.
Are you going to go by yourself, or are you going to drag that guy beside you along?
I bought 2 tickets with the intention that I would hopefully be able to take him. But after leaving the farm and having it be so crazy and insane last time that we left the farm. I mean, our farm sitter did great. It was just chaos. Mm-hmm. It's too scary to leave the farm in anybody else's hands besides ours, you know? It's questionable. And plus, the other problem is we wouldn't be able to buy 4 plane tickets. 1 plane ticket's going to be hard. 2 is going to be even harder. 4 is impossible. So we'd have to find somebody to keep our kids. And that's impossible.
Oh, trust me, it's hard enough to find somebody for our dogs. We don't have any kids.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Rachel with Hickory Hill Homestead.
Well, hi. Hi, Rachel.
Hi. Hey, Rhodes.
Hi. That's where I'm going to be staying in October for the conference.
Oh, we met them last year then.
Yeah, you made some awesome cheesecake.
Well, she's getting more this year.
I'll make sure I eat half of it again. No, I'm kidding.
She offered them to everybody. Opened up that container, and I think Pratt's had some, and
yes,
Doug and Stacy. Yep, everybody had some.
Had some. I was so happy that I could share with everybody because they were so delicious.
Well,
I wanted to eat them all.
It worked out well when you said you wanted the mini one, so we'll do that again.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, it's quiet.
Chat away.
I was quiet.
Nah, she's all yours.
So, Rose, are you going to drive one of your goats up to see me? I want to go.
That's what you want.
No, I'm serious. I'm not serious. No, I'm just kidding. I wish I was closer, though, because I was looking for Nubians a while ago. I gave up on that already.
3/4 Nigerian dwarf.
What?
You might with your butt. Little Luna, she's 1/4 Alpine and 3/4 Nigerian dwarf. She's tiny.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
So,
I thought about that.
Will she fit in a carry-on bag?
There is a lag on the phone, so I'm just trying to figure out what everybody's saying.
Do you still
Did I not follow directions? Was I supposed to call with some purpose?
No.
No, you can just call and say hi.
I just love me Wholesome Roots.
That's nothing wrong with that.
I love you too, Rachel. Everybody go check out Hickory Hill Homestead. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady with Nigerian dwarf and goats and beautiful gardens and amazing.
Well, they're not pretty right now. I'm hopeful. I'm hoping the gardens do really well this year. So everything I just transplanted the other day died from the frost that we got.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm hoping it didn't get to the roots, but we'll see.
Oh, goodness. What did you plant?
It was the kale transplants and the Swiss chard and cabbage transplants.
I'm surprised the kale and cabbage got hurt from the cold.
I am too, because I have kale in the ground from the fall, and I was really expecting it to be okay. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if it doesn't come in, I'm going to put some seeds in.
There you go. You still have time for that.
Yes, definitely. I'll get off this phone and let somebody else talk to you. Because I can talk to you all day.
Thank you for calling.
Yes.
And we'll see you again. We'll see you again in October.
Yes, we will.
Cool.
All
right. Later, everybody.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. See, it's pretty easy, folks.
My backup date, if I can't get Ryan to come to the conference, is I'm gonna find a way to get Trisha at Willow Creek Homestead to make it.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Peggy Pope is asking, are y'all going to keep the big girl that was born either today or yesterday?
We aren't sure yet on who all we're going to keep. She's probably not going to be one of the ones we keep, though. Probably not. I'd like to keep them all. It's so hard. I mean, who expected all these girls to be born? Normally, I keep all the girls and sell all the boys. But if they're all girls, that's kind of impossible. So I'm going to have to sell some. And because Rocky has the least productive udder, she's probably the best one for me to sell. She is beautiful. And I just, it's hard.
They're all beautiful. I haven't seen one that you could say wasn't.
True. So true.
Olin Lambert is asking a question about the conference. Maybe you can answer.
Which conference? There's the one in Tennessee in May, and then the one in Virginia. I think the one in Tennessee, the ticket includes everything. And I'm not sure if the one in Virginia does this year or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Last year it did. But I can find out for you, Olin.
Okay.
The one in Virginia, it includes the classes, except for on Thursday. Okay. On Thursday, they have special workshops that you can sign up for extra.
Yeah, Thursday they're doing like demonstrations and that because Dana has one on Thursday.
Everything on the other 2 days is included in the ticket.
There you go, Olin.
Old-fashioned life, you are not helping me with this. But her coloring is fantastic, and she's named after Seriously, like I would keep them all if I could.
Okay, and Paul Edens is asking.
Twins and vice versa with the single kids, from Paula Edens. They can have twins or singles, no matter if they were a twin or a single, and it can be different each year. And they can have triplets and quadruplets.
Okay, Shay Smiles is talking about the Tennessee one, so that was the Appalachian. Okay. Folks, the phone line is open. If you'd like to call.
Old-fashioned life says my job here is done. Paula is asking, do twin kids have twins and vice versa with the single kids?
Yeah, I just answered that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, that's okay.
Getting started on homesteading, yes. There are quite a few of us on here going to the Tennessee gathering. We will be there. We just made our reservations at a hotel and got our tickets, so we're all set for that. And then there is a get-together in Michigan that Pratt Family Homestead started last year, so we will be to that.
The Hoot Nanny.
The Hoot Nanny. I don't know if they're calling it that this year.
Yes, they are.
Okay. And then
Liam has a stuck toy. Emergency. Daddy's got to save the day.
Oh, here we go. Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hello, it's Brown Coat Homestead.
Well, hello. How you doing this evening?
How are you?
I'm doing good, Rose. It's nice to hear you and see you on the interview today. As always, it's lots of fun and great information.
Aw, thank you. You've been a very loyal fan, and I appreciate all your comments and everything on the channel, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, ever since I heard about you through Trish at Willow Creek, I've been a diehard fan.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm hoping if the money works out and I can come down and be at the conference in October. So if Ryan can't come, Trish would be a great person to meet as well.
I'm trying to convince her. She wants to come. She's just, we just got to figure out the logistics of it all. If that works out for her and her family and her homestead. It's hard to get away from the homestead. And the kids, I mean, that's hard. It really is.
I can imagine. And you've got your, with Ryan and your great two assistants there on I've loved seeing them on the videos and them helping you out with your garden.
Thank you. They seem to really enjoy it. I hope that it stays that way. My older two seemed like they liked to garden when they were little, and now they will not help me if you paid them. Literally.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and looking forward to many more videos, and I always enjoy the live streams.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you're enjoying those. We do a live stream every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for anybody who hasn't joined us before. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it's been fun.
All right. Well, you have a great night, and thanks, and have a good one.
Stephen,
thank you so much. I appreciate all your support.
Stephen, thank you for calling. Thank you for calling, Stephen.
Well,
all right. Thanks, and have a good night to family as well.
You too, Stephen. Thank you. It's 10:15. Why don't we go ahead and do the second trivia question for another 5 packs of seeds?
Yep.
Tammy, yeah, she had, well, I can't say that she has 2 little boys, but no, she has daughters also.
Okay. Very quickly, I'll go over the rules one more time, last time for today. You can only win once every 4 weeks. You must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it is received and recorded on the stream here. The stream is embedded into the screen so everybody can see that is the official order of reception. You must send us an email with your address. We ask you to do that within 48 hours. Send it to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. That way we can send you your winnings. All right, last time was too easy. You know,
just very knowledgeable people.
We gave them this multiple choice, and somebody was putting in answers before we even asked the question.
I don't know who that would have been.
So, seed trivia question number 2. What vegetable has the highest sugar content?
Bumblebee.
What vegetable has the highest sugar content? No, 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 no. It has not come up yet. No. Still haven't seen it. It is not a grapefruit. It is not beet. It is not Brussels sprouts. It is not sweet peas. It is not a tomato. It is not peas.
I didn't think this was going to be so hard.
It is not sugar cane. It is not a cucumber.
Vegetable.
It is not asparagus. It is not watermelon. It is not beets. It is not a pepper.
What? Oh, this is
There we go. There we go. Old-fashioned life.
Yes. Of course.
Old-fashioned life. Old-fashioned life was the first one to come up with onions.
Yep.
That was a good one.
He comes up with them every now and again.
So, Old-fashioned life, please send us an email. We good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Please send us an email and with your mailing address.
Yeah, that's why they caramelized so well. That makes sense.
All right. So, just to let everybody know, it's been a little over an hour. Rose, are you good to stick around a little bit more or no?
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay, well then, Rose, we got a question for you. What breed of chickens do you have?
We have Rhode Island Red, Easter Eggers, a few Americanas left over from the first batch, Olive Eggers that we bred, cream leg bar,
black copper mirage,
couple of naked necks.
I think there's a couple white leghorns left.
Oh yeah, from our
original.
Who knows how old they are?
They'll get a white egg occasionally.
Yeah. Freeloaders. But you know what was nice is we wanted to dye eggs, and I was like, wait, I've been so focused on colored eggs that we didn't have anything to dye, so I had to wait a couple of days to collect enough white eggs so we could dye them.
Well, with the number of chickens you have, you probably get about 3 dozen a day or so, don't you?
Before the raccoon attack, it averaged at 27 a day with a peak of 33. And now I'm getting probably 18 to 20 a day.
So do you resell those, or do you eat all that, or do you resell them?
Sell them.
Eat them, make mayonnaise, you name it.
Bumblebee. I so want to cross a naked neck and a Polish and create a Q-tip. Oh my God. Oh, too funny.
When in Idaho, what breed is your favorite? For favorite breed, I would say for high production and throwing out a lot of eggs, it would probably be Rhode Island Red.
Yeah.
But for colors and stuff, I like the Morons and the Easter Eggers.
Okay, Shay Smile says that Alderman's Tomas dyed brown eggs and they turned out great. So
Tomas also has a video that he did
different colors. I was doing a video on using natural stuff for like, egg dyes, so I wanted to really
peels and all that. Yeah, onion peels and all onion skins can do that. Yeah, Tomas did.
So I wanted to make sure we could see what colors really stood out the most.
Yeah, Tomas did a video of how to do hard-boiled eggs in a Instapot.
Old Fashioned Life says they walked out of Tractor Supply with 46 Silkies.
Who does that?
Oh my gosh! Seriously. Well, you know, I thought Tractor Supply discounted the chicks after a couple of days old, and we were in there, and they had a whole brooder. We were in there yesterday, and they had a whole brooder with chicks with fully feathered wings. The wings were complete feathers, and I said, "Oh, you have older chicks. That means they're discounted." And she said, "Not until they're a couple of weeks." Oh, buddy, you melting? You melting? Somebody's getting sleepy.
Yeah.
I watched your video on why you don't free range your chickens, and I found that to be kind of interesting because I know everybody talks about free range, but what you said makes sense. If you're free ranging them, you have to really hunt for the eggs.
Oh yeah, at our old house it was really hard. They would just go off in the woods and
you hit that lull in collecting the eggs where you can't find them, and you know, after a few summer rainstorms and a week later you mow the lawn and then you find the whole egg cache of, you know, however many eggs, 30 something eggs that have just been rained on and sat out in the sun. Yeah, it's a complete waste. But that's not the only reason, but yeah, there's pros and cons. Ideally, I like free ranging, but they're it's more manageable when they're in tractors.
Well, yeah, they just free range inside the tractor.
Right.
Yeah. You know, well, they get moved to a new piece of weeds and grass and stuff, so they get all the food that they would they free range. But we have hawk issues, and it would just be it is like somebody just said, a buffet. When we moved here, the hawks just started picking them off left and right. Wow. And it was we almost lost our entire flock.
And the Polish top knots were the first to go
because they can't see.
Because they couldn't see. They just,
over their fluff of hair hanging in their eyes.
They just stood there.
Wow.
Plus, you step on poop everywhere if they're in your yard. And We like to do breeding programs with different roosters, and you can't really do that if they're, we've got a bronze rooster in with our Rhode Island Red to go for our dark brown egg, but without being all, you know what I mean? And so you can't really choose who you're going to hatch out if you have them free range.
So you have ducks too, is that correct?
Yes.
But you don't have near as many ducks as you have chickens.
We have 14 ducks.
And they all have names.
No.
Duck number 1, duck number 2.
Poultry. We used to name them.
Every once in a while, there'll be one with extra personality that gets a name.
I was just thinking that, ideal gift for her would be one of these baby name books.
It's fun naming all these goats.
Goodness. So, just looking back into the chat here. Folks, if anybody would like to call in, we still have the phone line open. We're not going to keep them much longer. We're going to let them get some rest here this evening. So if you want to talk to Rose or Ryan, questions for either one of them.
See, Ellen Bloomfield says Angora goat and Pierre, same difference. Now, if we could just get Sam to teach the goat how to howl when the sirens go by, maybe nobody would notice there's a goat in between all those white dogs. Okay. Yeah, and she definitely, Rose has to get her little ones to bed.
Yes, yeah, that's what I say. We're not going to keep them very long.
They have a long day.
But if anybody wants to call in and is not shy, you do have to speak. Don't just make a phone call.
Bumblebee. That is
I went to Idaho. Thank you for coming, Jen.
I'd like for Bumblebee to call in.
Yeah, don't have to see the face, just sort of like their videos.
Yeah.
Incognito.
Yes.
We need to talk to you about that, Bumblebee.
Yeah, we have an idea. Well, they're a winner from earlier.
Yes. I love Muscovy, Peggy.
That's right. They got a cookbook.
Yeah.
Yes, they're laughing.
Okay.
Wildflower Valley said the sign at TSC said today all chicks half off, but they were sold out. Goodness.
All right.
Well, yeah, you've spoken in one video, but have we seen you in the video? That's what we want to chat about. Dawn, you have a great evening. And yes, I do have your address. You're right.
All right. Well, can you think anything else? Should we let these people go?
I think so. We'll be nice because they have little ones.
Rose, thank you very much for an enjoyable evening.
Mama, I will keep on her. Until that video comes out. We may have to wait till she gets the tomatoes, but we'll get a video out of her.
Well, and she has a tomato pie video to make.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about.
Mama was talking about, the tomato pie. Yeah.
We'll expect that tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll get right on it.
I am not using store-bought tomatoes for tomato pie. Thank you very much.
Store-bought tomato. Yeah, those are just nasty.
Ryan, do you have any
tomato recipes?
Ryan, you have any words of wisdom for everybody out here?
I would say if you're on the fence about a homestead lifestyle, just start somewhere. Plant something. Plant some vegetables that you want to try to grow. If you're able to, get a chicken.
Well, get 3 chickens.
Or get 3 chickens.
Have to have at least 3 of whatever you can.
Don't be scared of it. And there's more good that comes out of it than bad, and just know that you learn from your mistakes and learn from our mistakes, because we're not shy about sharing when things don't go right. So
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Just
experiment and fail and succeed and have fun along the way.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for being here this evening.
Thank you, Rose and Ryan. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys have a really nice program. I have to say, you're really good at what you're doing here with interviewing and your trivia questions. So keep it up. You guys are doing a great.
It just sort of, I think it started at the Tennessee conference last year. Daryl got out the phone, or do we have the camera?
No, I had the camera.
With the camera. And everybody was standing in line waiting for them to open up to that Saturday to go in. And he just started talking to everybody in line. Where are you from? What, all this stuff. So that just sort of flowed from there.
So, thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful week. And
Thank you.
We don't forget tomorrow night.
Oh, they may not know that we're having a guest tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night we do our video editing class. We do feature Filmora, but Filmora is it's an inexpensive editor that's very intuitive. It's easy to work, and it's an excellent stepping stone if you do want to progress further. It's a big step up from Movie Maker, and pretty much all the free ones. I'm not going to say them all, but pretty much all the free ones. It's only $60 forever. You buy it once, and it's yours. And we will be having a guest tomorrow night. Will Wallace is going to be joining us from the Weekend Homestead, and he's going to bring some information about networking. As far as a lot of channels, is that something you want to get involved with? He has some ins and outs on that. So tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Eastern Standard.
Eastern Standard Time. Folks, thanks so much for being here.
Everyone have a good evening.
Have a great evening. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.